And guys, we're going to jump into the final question of the day. And this final question is actually a really good question, a fun question that I'm glad I sent these questions to Jeremy so we can get some movies going for this particular question. This question comes from a Dana Jones, and she writes, "Hey Alex, what are some good movies to watch during this quarantine?" Now, before I give you my movies, I'm actually let Jeremy go first and see what movies you would like to recommend.
All right. Obviously, a lot of people watch movies for a lot of different reasons. When you say, what do you want to watch during a quarantine? Some people might want to watch some super laid back, lighthearted, accessible, family friendly stuff. Other people, a lot of people have been watching like Outbreak and Contagion online, and I'm like, I'm good on that.
Yeah, I'm good on that too.
So I've come up with a list of movies that, like, I'm assuming that you haven't. You've probably seen some of the movies on the list. I mean, I could be like, hey, did you know Avengers is on Amazon Prime? I'm guessing you probably knew that. So I'm going in a different direction and giving you suggestions for movies you probably haven't seen, but you can stream for free right now. So on Hulu, Fighting with My Family, the WWE produced movie about Paige. It features The Rock and Nick Frost as well as Florence Pugh. Is fantastic. Beach Bum, starring Matthew McConaughey and Martin Lawrence. Very underseen Harmony Korine movie. Really, really cool. Netflix, Creep 1 and 2. Two different found footage movies that star Mark Duplass. They're kind of horror found footage movies. There's a new Candyman movie that's going to be released in theaters or be released sometime here in the near future. So you can actually go back and watch the original Candyman on Netflix. The Invitation on Amazon Prime. Check out The Disaster Artist, Honey Boy, mid-90s. And then on Disney Plus, I check out, if you want to watch something a little off the beaten path, check out The Black Cauldron and Return to Oz. So those are just not a list of favorites, just some stuff that, you know, if you dig a little bit deep, you might be able to come across them. They're movies I found fun or interesting. So check those out.
Okay, cool. Now that's actually a really good list, and I'm glad you broke it down from Netflix to Hulu to Disney Plus and even Amazon. I think that is dope. And I just chose some random ones, but now that I think about it, as you give your list, actually, I know that people are at home, and I know at this time we're trying to save money. So obviously you want to go to what's accessible to you, like Netflix or Hulu. So for Hulu, I chose actually Fighting with My Family as well, because I really enjoyed that movie. There's another movie on Hulu called Creed 2. It's the sequel to Creed 1. That is a really, really good movie. If you've seen Creed or any of the other Rocky movies, definitely recommend you go see that movie. On Netflix, there's another movie that I just watched last night for the first time. It's called Harlem Nights with Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy. Mind you, it was my first time ever watching it. Oh my God, that movie was so good. Like, everybody should definitely go see it. Another one on Netflix is Inception. It's actually my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. Out of all the movies that he's done, including the Dark Knight franchise, that is my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. Also on Netflix, I would also recommend watching The Dark Knight as well. I watched the trilogy about a couple days ago. I even watched Batman Begins last night as well. I'm like, you know, he did a really good job telling the story of this particular character. So I would definitely recommend that. On Amazon, if you have Amazon Prime, I'm gonna watch it tonight. I would recommend everyone to go watch House Party. That is one of my favorite 90s movies. Every time I watch that movie, I remember exactly where I was, how old I was, and who I was with watching that movie. It's one of my favorite 90s movies of all time. It's actually one of the movies that got me inspired to do movie directing and movie stuff like that. And my last and final pick, which I believe is on Disney Plus, is Aladdin, the live action one. I really did enjoy that movie as well. It definitely different from the animated one, but definitely check that out. And and if you have kids, I recently just showed my daughter Frozen 2, so you can watch that as well. There's a lot of family friendly stuff on Disney Plus as well, so I would recommend Frozen 2 as well.